listen, we're going to be honest on this podcast. We're going to call it like we see it. And what stood out to you is the exact same thing that stood out to me. I think that graphically, from a setting standpoint, it looks good. I don't think it looks amazing. This doesn't look like a next-gen game. I'm of the assumption that I think this is coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, the kind of the older gen consoles. And this doesn't really look next-gen to me at all. It looks fine, but man, you would think that they would really emphasize, or at least, and they may have, put a lot of time into the Gollum character model. He looks awful. I'm going to go to that extent. And I know it sounds like you said, that we're just crapping on games all the time, but I refuse to believe anybody's going to watch this trailer and say, man, that Gollum character model, he looks great. Yeah, there's no way. There's no possible way. There's actually a scene from this, and he has like this bowl haircut that looks really weird and bizarre. Like, I know that that's his hairstyle. I get it, but the hair looks awful. It doesn't look like hair. Yeah. It looks like plastic almost. Like, it looks very stiff. Like, it doesn't kind of like, it just doesn't look like hair. It's a terrible character model. And I'll be honest with you, man. I'm not the biggest Lord of the Rings fan. I don't know about you and your background with those movies. I mean, I think they're good movies, but yeah, I'm kind of meh on them, and I understand that those have such a passionate fan base, and I'm sure people were really and are really looking forward to this. This seems really niche to me for a Lord of the Rings game. Kind of bizarre that this is the game that they're going with. A stealth game with Gollum. I'm not too big into stealth games. I never have been. I like and I enjoy stealth segments of certain games, like, Uncharted 2 or Uncharted would have some stealth segments, and a lot of games have those segments that are interesting. They're kind of, a change of pace. But to have a game that's just purely stealth doesn't really resonate with me. It's not something that I'm personally interested in playing. I mean, gameplay wise, it looks fine. I don't think this is going to blow anybody away. I'd be pretty surprised if it came out and this game's getting 10s and everybody's, ooh and just going crazy about this game. I'd be shocked. But what do you think? Do you think this is niche like I do? It just seems really a bizarre game to release in general. A Gollum game?
I mean, I don't know that I agree that it's super niche, because I think Lord of the Rings is a super huge franchise. Maybe it's a little more niche than Shadow of Mordor, or what is it? Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor. Yeah, Middle-earth, Shadow of War. Those games did phenomenal numbers. Like, they did. People love those games. They were a more refined Assassin's Creed game at the time, combined with Batman Arkham Combat. Like, that was awesome. But why not just give us a Lord of the Rings game that follows the main book story? Maybe the Hobbit storyline, or just the Lord of the Rings storyline, like any prequel, sequel, whatever. Just do something not off the beaten path.
You think about it, there's not like a big Lord of the Rings game. I know they did the MMORPG, the Lord of the Rings MMO. I know that was big. Yeah. Obviously, I don't think it's big anymore, but I know that was like their big game. But you're absolutely right, man. It just, and I suppose I should preface, when I refer to niche, I'm not speaking to just, Lord of the Rings. I understand that's a massive IP. I think from a gameplay standpoint, it feels very niche. That's kind of what I was referring to, and maybe I should have been clear with that. It's just we don't see a lot of stealth game, like solely stealth. Like, you know what I mean? This just seems like it's 90% stealth, and then it's just a certain type of gameplay that we don't see a lot. It's just niche in that way, and I think you hit it right on the head, where there's so many different ways that they could use this license, the different types of games that they can make with this license. It's almost just unlimited possibilities. It's just strange to me that this is the game that we're getting from that universe. It feels really weird to me. And
I think that makes more sense now. I think Lord of the Rings has so much reach as an intellectual property that they're doing a disservice to their IP by coupling it with such a, to borrow words from you, such a niche type of gaming genre. Like, you're right. And it's just occurring to me now, you're absolutely right. Why would they make a game super stealth driven that some people are going to buy just for the of the Rings name, and then they're going to be immediately put off. And then it's going to be hard to get those people back. The fans of Lord of the Rings games, I mean, the fans of Lord of the Rings franchise, you're not going to get them back if they don't like the newest iteration of games that you're putting out. You know what I mean? And if you don't like a super stealth driven game, you're not going to like this. And then here's the other thing I'll say. This is just really funny to me. If you look at this trailer, it's 1 minute and 26 seconds, right? On PlayStation's YouTube. And you go to right around I want to say it's the 40-second mark, 43 seconds. They have a little clip of Gollum's hands, and there's more texture detail in his hands than there is on his face. Like, what what is going on? Do you see this? It looks bad, man. It looks like PS2. It looks oh, and it looks even worse because they have good environments. So it makes it look, the lighting's not too great, but the environments are pretty good, whether they're out of the box or not. Who knows if they're like, pre-packaged environments that they found somewhere from some library. But when you look at Gollum in a high-res world, it would be like putting Kratos, the PS2 Kratos, in the 2018 God of War. It would just look ridiculous. It's just hard when you hype something up for this long and then it comes out and it looks like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we were just talking about Skate and how Skate got it so right. This is where we're at in the development process. We need more time. Thank you for supporting this game as long as you have. Here's a behind the curtain look. Then you have a game like Gollum, Lord of the Rings Gollum. Look at how amazing this game is. Like, really trying to have this high quality, high caliber trailer that's showing off how beautiful and how enticing this game is going to be. And it just feels very, I can see right through that. You know what I mean?